Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our podcast, Moms on the Move. I'm Jen Wills.
And I'm Ashley Steigerwald.
We have Barry Horst with us today from Wired Minds.
Hey.
Thank you for coming.
Of course.
So Wired Minds is like a tutoring,
After school, summer camps,
study skills, SAT, ACT prep.
Yep.
Yeah, like
of all ages.
everything. Yeah, like our youngest kid has been like 3, which we kind of discourage that.
That was a hyper parent.
I was about to say that.
We have people that can work with them, but it's not. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then like our oldest person's been like 63.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Okay.
And they're right across from Riverside High School.
Okay.
So if you're over in that Riverside area, it's really, really convenient.
Is it like a referral at all, or just parents that, like, it's not like the teachers are referring you?
I don't think they're allowed to by law.
By law.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are a lot of teachers who work there.
We've got a fair amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had there was a lot of tutors available.
Yeah,
I was looking at your website.
Yeah.
All of the subjects.
Like we don't have underwater basket weaving.
Dang.
We're looking into that, but
Nice.
No, but like seriously, everything.
Yeah. Like even AP classes, the advanced classes, elementary. Yeah. And so we met because you tutored Tripp. So when Tripp was in 8th grade, he was taking Algebra 1 honors and he wasn't struggling. So it's not like he was like pulling Fs or anything. He was getting decent grades, but I could just tell he wasn't like firmly grasping. And I went into like parent mode because we were saying before the podcast, in elementary school, you get that like addition, subtraction, and your multiplication. And that's kind of your foundation. And I was like, this is Algebra 1 honors. This is going to be the foundation of basically everything he takes in high school and college. And so called over to Wired Minds, and he started working with Barry. And Barry's like super high energy.
Yeah, he did.
And they had a blast. Like he made it fun. Tripp loved going. And like within a very short period of time, we were seeing major, and again, he wasn't struggling. He was just taking a really long time to get his homework done. Yeah. I mean, we were talking, he'd be at that table, working through it for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then after being in school all day, he was just drained. Yeah. And then within a couple weeks, like his homework, he was getting homework done in, 15, 20, 25 minutes versus 2 hours.
Yeah.
So what do you teach there? Like it looks like you focus on retention a lot. A lot of...
So like, how do I work with my students?
Yeah.
So every instructor we have is different.
Okay.
And like, I used to think that I was like the best instructor we have. Like I truly am like the worst that we have anymore. But so the way that I approach it personally is, let's focus on what we know. And then let's take that, let's build it onto what we don't know, and how can we make that bridge, right? Like when I was in college learning how to be a teacher, that was a big thing, like bridging that knowledge. But showing that, you don't need to struggle through this. Let's understand the why. Like why, like we were talking before the podcast, your quadratic formula, right?
Yes. Oh, quadratic equation.
Yeah, right? But why does that work? And so like a lot of kids, I just have to memorize it, negative b plus or minus and all that, all over 2a. Well, if you look at that, what they're learning, that negative b over 2a is actually your axis of symmetry. And so then, I can put these pieces together. And so no longer am I having these disjointed, like little things that I have to try to memorize. If I can start to link them, then it just becomes a whole lot easier. And,
are you finding a lot more kids have come now because of e-learning?
Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? So with e-learning, there's a lot more need, but there's I think there's a lot of hesitancy because of, what precautions are you taking because of COVID, how I don't necessarily want my kid to be 3 feet away from an instructor. So yeah, we've seen a lot of students with that desire. Like, so we're offering virtual tutoring as well.
Okay.
For those that are just not feeling comfortable with coming in. But yeah, there's been.
I feel like virtual would just be so much harder.
It is. I don't really enjoy it personally.
Yeah.
I think for
I do
some
have
kids,
a bunch of kids that are virtual.
Yeah, I think it just really depends on the kid and it depends on the subject.
Learning.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that Tripp really picked up working with you is the understanding the why, and it wasn't the memorize this formula, stick in the numbers and regurgitate an answer.
Right.
It was like, oh, there was a reason this formula exists, and you gave him some little tips and tricks that were like almost like shortcuts where, I mean, I don't remember what it was, came home one day and he was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I
This
feel like
just
math
made it so much easier.
Clicks. You know?
Yeah, I'm super biased. I love math.
Me too.
I can't. I was just talking to somebody this morning on the phone. Please don't ask me to do English. Like, that's why I hire amazing people for English.
Yeah.
But,
So do you do like reading, writing?
yeah, like.
But not you.
Not me, please. No, like.
Don't call Barry.
Don't call Barry.
Please don't
to
do
write
that.
your essays.
Did you used to teach math prior?
You know, I actually I taught elementary school, believe it or not.
Okay.
And I started seeing that I focused heavily on math, and so my kids were like amazing at math, but they were garbage in reading.
right.
The third grade teacher was like, "What are you doing? They don't understand how to read." Well, no, I mean they can read, but they're not. Yeah.
But look, they can.
Oh, I mean their math was insane.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So like first graders were getting the square root of like 112, and they're like, "Cat, hard,
Can't do this. Too hard.
Yeah.
So why'd you start Wired Minds?
Because I thought it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted, because I saw my elementary school students just start to love it, love learning, and I was like, let's make this big, and let's just start helping kids all across the board start to love learning. And I mean.
So do you have kids that just come there like because they want to learn more?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they like it.
Yeah, I've got a couple kids that have no business like getting tutored, like straight A's,
Okay.
and
They just enjoy
they
it.
just want to see, okay, how else can I learn this? Like, what's the rationale behind this? Let's make it fun.
Yeah.
The place has a cool vibe. Like,
Well,
I can't just like there's a vibe in the building where you walk in and there's like this gold wall and like it's very big on acknowledging the kids that are really working hard. Like even their sign out front, it's like the first name of the kid got 100 on their
Yeah.
and all the
cute.
kids who were in there, like even for the after school program, they would they're happy to be there. They run in the
Right.
building and they're like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, they're so excited to tell
they're
me
pumped.
grades.
Yeah.
So you
"Oh
have
my
like the
goodness."
after school program.
Yeah, we have an after school program as well.
Okay. And I saw you had all these like really cool summer camps.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are some of the
man.
names? Because it was like, what's up? Or something like,
What's in your wallet, right?
What's in your
I wish I could take credit for naming these.
they were great.
So like our first and sixth week of summer camp is probably going to be normally the last 2 weeks are our most popular, which is just going back to school, getting ready, preparing for what's going to be coming down the pipeline, making sure we know like the first 2 to 3 chapters of math, understanding what's coming in English. Like we hit that really hard, so that when they get it in school, it's just a review, and so you can start out strong. But our first and sixth week are totally focused on esports. Like,
What's that mean?
Yeah,
What's an
exactly.
esport?
It's like video games. I truly.
Oh,
like,
video games.
I'm not the one leading this.
Okay.
We've got a group from Virtual Reload who is based in Greenville, and they are all about like teaching kids to be better at video games. Like, because colleges
Oh my
are offering
gosh.
scholarships for
What?
video. Yeah.
Please don't tell my
Don't
children
I was
that.
about to
It's
say,
too late.
boys,
Please.
turn off the podcast. Not for my
And
side.
there's going to be college scouts.
We're like, trigger
there.
warning, we're talking about menstrual cycles, and now they won't watch it.
But we're
Not
going to have
video
college
games.
scouts there. Like,
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's so crazy. Like, it's
Which video, like Fortnite?
big.
Like which?
No, it's the first week we're doing I think it's called Rocket League. It's like soccer with cars. Again, I have never played this before in my life,
Okay.
but like they're like professional video game coaches, they exist. And
Wow.
they're going to be like video conferencing in to help kids like learn how to do this. They're going to be coaches on shoutcasting. Like this is like it's a huge thing.
Oh my god.
And-
I mean, I knew it was becoming a big deal with like sponsors and teams and all of that,
Yeah,
but
there's
like,
going to be there's professional sponsors sponsoring these
Yeah.
weeks of camp. Like it's insane. Like
Wow.
the first and sixth week are just crazy. The rest are just like our normal
Yeah.
camps of like wild, crazy, goofy stuff. But like those 2 weeks are like crazy.
Don't let your children. Because then they'll be like, Mom, I want to grow up to be
a professional gamer.
gamer.
I don't know. Seeing how
And-
much some of those people are making.
Are they
And they
really?
get scholarships. Scholarships.
I didn't know about the scholarships when I knew they were making a ton of
Yeah.
money. Oh my
It's-
gosh.
You can go to college and
Play
for free.
video games.
It's
I
insane.
mean, I'm not sure I'd want to pay for that. As
Them
a
to go to
parent.
college. Well,
Well, if
you're
they're
not
getting
paying.
scholarships, you're right. But I don't think I'd even like a partial. Like, hey, you go play video games.
No, that make me feel better about all the time they spend
That's
playing
true.
video games.
That's true. It wasn't a waste.
Oh my gosh.
So what were some of the other camps?
Okay, so then we have like being gross. We've got a regional guy that like raises and cares for bees coming in to teach the kids about the importance of bees.
Yeah.
And how they're just like their populations are just plummeting. We've got a guy that same week who's like he's an exterminator and he's coming in to talk about what bugs do we have to worry about, what bugs don't we have to worry about here. Like this is what makes up an insect. Like my kids don't know how many legs an insect has. It's six.
So what are the ages for this?
It's typically, with the exception of the esports, it's generally upper elementary through 8th, 9th grade. Okay. Esports is open to like all the way to 12th grade because of those scholarship opportunities, which is crazy. Yeah,
that is crazy.
We had a bug, the critter keeper come for Bennett's 5th birthday.
Yeah. I've got a guy who removes bees, a friend of mine, out of houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
it may be the same guy.
Maybe. I don't know, but it's crazy. He comes with like the infrared and you see the heat spot and then he takes the whole colony out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's a thing.
Yeah. And I feel like my kids would love that.
It's so much fun.
Bug one.
Yeah. And so like we're doing like gross stuff that week.
Yeah.
And
that's what they would love.
Yeah.
Other weeks, like we've got Greek week. I'm trying to think of all of them. Oh, cease and assist. Oh, yeah. So the second and third week are like all about survival. Like we've got this guy who used to be my neighbor, and he's like an army survivalist. Oh. Like hardcore. Like he's like saved lives in like Mount.
Rushmore?
No.
Rushmore.
Mount St. Helens. When Mount St. Helens.
Can we edit that out?
No, we're not editing that out. Mount Rushmore. All the tragic climbers.
I'm so embarrassing. I need to go to Wired
When
Minds.
Mount St. Helens blew up, he
you
was
need
like
to go to
part of
Wired
that
Minds.
rescue.
Do you have
I need a spot. I need an emergency session. Oh, you can be there at 3:30.
I'm snorting. All right, hang on.
Sorry.
Ooh, okay.
That's not my strong suit. Let's talk about fractions.
Let's talk about math. Let's go back to math.
Variables. Fractions. Not around much.
All right, so
survival.
Yeah, so he's coming in to teach for 2 weeks, teach the kids about like what happens if you get lost if you're in the middle of the woods. What happens if you get lost and you're not in the middle of the woods?
Yeah.
Like how do you even last year or the year before, he talked about like when there's like school shootings going on. He was like, okay, so how would you deal with this if that happens in your school, in your classroom? What is the best option for you to survive this? So it's not just like surviving out in the wild, but in life in general. Like he's really like super intense, and he wants these kids to.
What's the age for that? Same?
That's
Same?
upper elementary through middle school.
I guess I don't need like Bennett to go and be like, terrified.
But the very last Thursday night, all the kids go and they camp out in my neighbor's backyard. He's got like 20 acres.
Yes.
And so we go and pitch. We might not even have tents. Like he teaches them how to survive without
right
tents.
up your alley.
Oh my gosh, my boys would love that.
It's super fun.
They
super
would
fun.
Recently, she's like, would you like to go, what was it?
Camping.
Camping. I was like, where would you sleep?
Oh my God, it'll be fun.
You'll Can I bring an RV?
No, you cannot. Dig a hole.
And sleep in it?
No, just dig a hole to go to the bathroom. I mean, you can dig a hole and sleep in it.
Just make Buzz would tell you not to do that.
I was about to say, unless it's rain, exactly.
Yeah, the water's going to get you all wet then. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
I need
Who would have thought about this?
Too.
You're supposed to camp and hike on durable surfaces. Leave no
I did
trace.
like to used to watch Naked and Afraid.
I can't. It's too much butts.
Oh, I know. That's disgusting. But I like the, like.
They are naked, a man and a woman, and they send them out to survive in the woods.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I used to watch it with Chris all the time.
Really?
Yeah, because, I mean, not that I would ever do it, but like we always joke, like, who would last longer?
Who would last longer?
Probably me. I don't know. There's certain, like, some of the bug ones. Not a big. So what other camps is there?
This show's just all over the place today.
Sorry.
I can't keep a straight thought.
I can't either.
That's why I work well with ADD kids.
Do you have a lot of?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all over the place. Like,
yeah. But you're there together. I mean,
yeah,
at least,
and then we come back. Okay, let's finish learning. Okay, and then hey, did you hear about it? Okay. It's amazing how much they learn in an hour.
They do.
So then we've got like a coding week. I think it's like
cool.
week 8.
I think that's the other one I saw.
Yeah.
It was called
it's code
something.
Of, code of conduct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so we've got this other guy that's coming in to teach. Like, he used to have a coding school,
Wow.
and then he went off to be like a real life doctor. And then I was talking with him. He's like, "Hey, that'd be kind of cool. Let's do that again." All right, great. So like almost every week we have some kind of special guest who's like an expert in something in that field.
That's great.
Just trying to give these kids experiences that they wouldn't normally have, right? So like, I think when Trip was there, we would blow stuff up, right?
Yep.
And is that am I allowed to say it?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
But I mean, but
that keeps their interest.
Yeah, well, and truly, like, a show of hands, who has blown something up?
It's awesome.
It's so much fun.
You've never blown something up?
No.
It's so much fun, and like, as long as we do it safely, like, we don't want to lose limbs.
Right.
Like, you see all those YouTube videos where like somebody's like, and they,
go home and put a gummy bear.
So,
go home and put a gummy bear in your microwave. Your boys will love it.
I don't know.
Yeah, go put gummy bears.
Or a bar of Ivory soap. Definitely do that one.
But like, is it gonna ruin my microwave?
Probably.
Then no,
It's worth it.
No, it won't.
Also, public service announcement: don't do that.
Yeah, don't do this.
We're not
Don't do this
encouraging
at
you to
home.
blow
Do it at
things
Wired
up.
Minds, right?
Yes,
Okay.
There you go.
Bring your bar soap.
Destroy our building.
I was about to say the break room.
No, we did this at the YMCA, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
Yeah.
We put one of our little bottles that was going to blow up in this 5-gallon bucket, covered it with ping pong balls,
That is so
and
cool.
the bottle blew up, and there are still ping pong balls stuck in the ceiling.
My gosh.
It was great. Like, the kids were just like, ah! But that's what you want, right?
Yeah,
you want to.
They want to be.
You want to create this wow factor of learning.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
so often kids are just like,
It's boring.
and the drool starts coming, and if you can start showing kids like, whoa, why does this happen, and create that creativity,
like in physics
or
and stuff
curiosity,
like that.
rather.
Is that weird?
Like,
The curiosity, I think, is so
curiosity
important.
is key.
Yes.
Like, having that learner's mind.
Yes, that elastic mind, that growth mindset, and it's all about that. Like, I try to use that with my boys all the time. I'm like, let's approach this with curiosity. Like, don't say I don't want to do this or I can't do this. Like, let's just approach this with curiosity.
Yeah.
Because if you're willing to try something, you just never know. And it's same. It's getting out of that fixed mindset. And so, like, I read studies about, like, you shouldn't be telling your kids like you are so smart, because then it locks them into that fixed
There's
mindset.
nothing to learn.
Yeah, that and you are already that. So if you struggle, it's not that you're curious or you're in the learning process. You're doing a great job, and
hard.
you're working hard. I use that one a lot versus you are smart, because that's a fixed thing. So then if you tell somebody you are smart, and then they start to struggle, does that mean they're not smart anymore?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's part of their identity of I am
it.
smart and now I am not smart versus
that's
you're a
a big
hard
thing.
worker. Yeah.
Because a lot of kids hate, I mean, I think every human being hates to fail. Like,
Yes.
we don't want to do things that we're not good at.
Yes.
So if we can start teaching kids that this failing is actually a really good thing, it's part of how you learn.
Mm-hmm.
And so I love giving my kids questions or problems that they can't solve, but they'll be able to by the end of the session, right? Yep. But okay, so do this. I have no idea how to do that. Okay, that's all right. So let's break it down. And it's okay that you failed at that. I love that you tried, but now let's figure out how to build up to that. And so that it definitely, that curiosity is huge.
Yeah.
So how many days a week do you like recommend seeing?
Every day. No.
Every day.
I'm super biased. It's 3 times a day.
You did look pretty excited when I said that.
Yeah.
He's like, cool.
Every day. No. Truly, I think 3 times a week is way too much.
Yeah. Okay.
Once or twice is probably sufficient. I think if it's much more than that, kids get burned out.
Yeah.
And again, we don't want it. We want it to stay kind of novel, like that. This is the cool place. We want, like, I don't want kids to just get bored of being there.
Right.
And so, I don't want them here there that much.
And they've got like good technology. Like they've got, they were over on the whiteboards. They've got computers in there. They have all kinds of stuff.
Do you teach computer?
Typically, no.
Yeah.
I mean, we can.
Right. I was like, could you give me a basic computer class? Like, basic one. Someone asked us earlier, can you send a calendar invite? And I was like, Ashley,
can you send a calendar
invite?
I got it. I'll take care of it. But no, it's a really neat place.
Yeah. And you can tell you love it.
Yes.
It's
I love
abs-
that.
that is so true. You can tell, and it's you and the other tutors. You can feel when you're there how passionate you guys are about learning and having fun, and passionate about the kids doing well.
Yeah, the team is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Like we just, there really are no words other than amazing. Like they are so passionate about helping kids. Like we've got this one guy. It was my favorite interview ever. Am I allowed to just tell stories?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite interview ever. I'm interviewing this guy, and it was probably like 5 years ago now. And I said, I think I would really like to offer you this position. How do you feel about that? And he just stopped, and he goes, he looked at me and he's like, really? And like, why? That's a terrible question to ask once you've been offered it. Like, really?
Are you sure?
Yeah, are you sure? And I was like, why should I not offer this to you? Like,
what do you know? Yeah, what do you know that I don't know?
Exactly.
What am I going to find out in the background check?
And he goes, well, I'm old, and most people don't want to hire somebody who's old. He's like the favorite tutor of all of our middle school and high school girls. They just adore Earl.
Yeah.
Earl and I've had people come back.
I think I saw Earl on the website.
Did you?
I was looking at all the
He's
tutors.
Amazing. And people in the past month, we've had 2 girls who have graduated, and one is past college, but Earl helped me. Earl changed my life. Earl, wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Is there any tips that you give kids, just all ages, just studying tips?
Repetition is huge.
Repetition.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
It's really not. It's really
practicing helps.
Right?
Practice.
I know.
But and truly, one of the things I do with my students, because research has shown that once you do it 7 times correctly in a row, so it has to be 7 in a row that are correct, you own it. And so, okay, let's go through it. Okay, halfway through, I'll have them teach it back to me. Okay, why did you do this? Why did you do that? What was happening here? And then, and then that even just having them teach it back. I had one of my instructors called me because she was struggling with one of her students, and she was like, I don't know. She gets it in the session, and then she seems to forget it. And I said, well, okay, we're going to have her teach her dad how to do this. And just let her know at the beginning of the session, she's going to be teaching her dad at the end of the session. And that made all the difference in the world. Once a kid knows, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to teach this, something happens in their brain. And so it's a great strategy.
That is a great strategy.
So if parents are working with their kids, okay, listen, let's have you teach the dog. Reading to a dog is tremendously beneficial. The dog doesn't know what you're saying, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
Just teaching the topic to something, or just okay, you're going to teach this back to me after we're done this evening, and just keep it chill. Keep it. We're not trying to stress kids out. We're not trying to. They have such a hard time in school as it is.
Yeah.
We don't want to make it any more onerous. What a great word.
That is a good word.
Onerous. Yeah.
So when do you find sometimes parents wait too late? They're waiting till the kids bomb and test to bring them in, and then you're playing catch up. When should parents say, okay, maybe I need some intervention here?
Okay, again, I'm super biased. They have to, the first day of school, bring them back. No.
When do you get home from the hospital?
www.
Remember I said 3 years old is too young? No,
just kidding.
2 months. There we go. So I think a good clue is when a kid starts to not enjoy it anymore. Because that, as we said, we try to avoid things we aren't good at, right? Or we don't like things we're not good at. And I'm garbage at ice skating, and so I hate ice skating. And when a kid starts to not enjoy school, something's going on. Right. It may actually not have anything to do with academics. It might, there might be some social issues going on, but something's happening. And so if it is the academics, I hate math all of a sudden. I started meeting with the kid 2.5 months ago. First time I met with him, how do you feel about math? I hate it. Hate was not a strong enough word. I asked him last week, how you feeling about math? And he's like, it's okay. And I mean, he's been getting A's.
Wow.
And I mean, I can't promise that that's going to happen for every kid. But like, again, with Earl, he had one session with this boy. I just got an email from his mom, this kid's mom. After one session, he got an A. Like, I can't promise that's going to happen for every kid.
Yeah.
But when we start to not enjoy school, I think that might be time to consider.
Right.
Maybe it's the beginning of a pattern. Maybe it was just a hiccup. Maybe it was a certain concept.
Yeah.
But just that's time to kind of clue in and keep your eye on it.
Yeah. Because we realized with Tripp, like we were trying to work with him at home because Bill's great at math, and him and Tripp were sitting downstairs, but like trying to learn math from your dad after he's been at work all day and you've been at school all day. Oh my God. It was like Tripp's, flipping out, Bill's flipping, and I was like, we're done. We're done.
I'm seeing that with my own son.
You here. Like,
yeah, it's harder to teach
your own kids rebelling against you. What is
with
up
math.
with that?
With math. I know, it broke my heart this morning.
Now you got to call Earl.
I do. Actually, I suggested that to my wife. I was like, maybe we just bring him to Wired Minds.
Yeah.
But, I can't tell you how many teachers say, I teach this for a living, and my child will not listen to me.
Yeah.
And
I feel like that's good for parents to know, though. Like, reiterate that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not you.
No.
It's them.
I mean, it's you.
It's just that relationship.
It is you, but it's...
A parent shouldn't be necessarily the child's teacher.
Yes.
And I mean, it was kind of devastating this morning. So I was like, well, I do this for a living, but okay, my own son.
My own flesh and blood.
I know, it was hurt. It crushed me. But yeah, I think that's probably a good time to look at it.
Yeah. So Wired Minds is located in Greer.
Yeah, right across from Riverside High School.
Yeah.
And if we're too far away, we can do virtual.
Yeah. It's worth the drive. I live in Five Forks, and it was worth the drive getting all the way over there. And I mean, it wasn't that bad in the afternoon, taking the back roads, but it was absolutely worth the drive. And I was saying, we're going to be back in there because he's getting ready for, SAT time.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get ahead of the curveball there. I never took any SAT prep. I wish I did great on my SATs, but
I feel like you would.
I know. But I wish I'd been able to take, we just financially couldn't afford it at, when I was growing up. So.
And can I just
interrupt
please? Right there? I recognize that Wired Minds is probably not the cheapest place in town. And I don't want that to stop somebody. Like, and I think actually I told you that anybody that's listening to this podcast can get a $5 discount on tutoring. And for summer camp, our earliest bird discount is already expired, which was, I think it was $245 for the week. But they can have that until I think the 15th of May. But truly, if finances are an issue, I don't know which camera to look at. Two. If finances are an issue, please don't let that stop you. I mean, we'll take care of it. Like it's super important that we can help kids. And so.
Well, thank you.
And you can book online.
Yes, you can book online.
Once you're in the system, once you're in the system, you can book online, which was so helpful that I wasn't like trying to call or anything, and then they'll get you in a regular spot. Like we got in a regular slot that really helped out.
And it said you could pick your.
You can pick your tutors.
Yep.
I think in order to get the discount, you're probably going to have to call.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
You're gonna have to call.
That's all right.
We just did an etiquette class. People can pick up the phone.
They can, yeah.
And I don't remember the number of that.
I'll get the phone number because we'll put it on the top, at the top of the podcast.
Because it's a brand new number just for this.
Ooh, I know, right? Fancy.
Special.
Yeah,
I know.
Great.
So we'll put that number on the top of the podcast so you can call to get the special discount.
Yeah.
And I'll be there at 3:30 to go over my history lesson.
Your geography.
Oh my God, I need coffee so bad. Well, then I'm going to let you sign off because I'm struggling today.
I don't sign off. You know who the sponsors are.
So much fun.
Well, no,
this
really.
is a very professional setup we have going on here.
This was great. Thank you so much for having me.
We're just two tired moms trying to help some other people.
I know. People on the struggle bus.
No, really, thank you. I think, hopefully, like a lot of parents tuned into this and we'll be calling you. So
Yeah.
remember, there's a discount. Call Barry, call Earl. Thank you again.
Of course. Of course.
We want to thank our sponsors. We have Wilson Associates. If you're looking to buy or sell, especially sell, please call us.
I know. We need some houses to sell right now.
We do.
Yeah.
And, it's still important to get the house listed correctly.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
we have Wilson Associates, Blackacre Closing Attorneys, Parham Smith Archenhold Law Firm. We have Pearl Dental, and we have Amanda McCall.
She's stuck with us.
She's stuck with
the
us.
OG sponsor.
I know. She signed on for a long time with us.
Amanda
She is
McCall,
Prime
Prime
Lending.
Lending.
So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you next time.